established on the system capitals, and only appeals are taken to the universe headquarters. With the settling of the system, the assigned sentinel, representative of the super-universe supreme executive, becomes the volunteer advisor to the system Supreme Court and actual presiding officer of the new legislative assembly. After the settling of an entire system in Light and Life, the system sovereigns will no more come and go. Such a sovereign remains perpetually at the head of his system. The assistant sovereigns continue to change as in former ages. During this epoch of stabilization, for the first time Midsoniters come from the universe headquarters worlds of their sojourn to act as counselors to the legislative assemblies and advisors to the adjudicational tribunals. These Midsoniters also carry on certain efforts to inculcate new mota meanings of supreme value into the teaching enterprises which they sponsor jointly with the Finaliters. What the material sons did for the mortal races biologically, the Midsonite creatures now do for these unified and glorified humans in the ever-advancing realms of philosophy and spiritualized thinking. On the inhabited worlds, the teacher's sons become voluntary collaborators with the Finaliters, and these same teacher's sons also accompany the Finaliters to the mansion worlds when those spheres are no longer to be utilized as differential receiving worlds after an entire system is settled in Light and Life. At least this is true by the time the entire constellation has thus evolved, but there are no groups that far advanced in Nebadon. We are not permitted to reveal the nature of the work of the Finaliters who will supervise such rededicated mansion worlds. You have, however, been informed that there are throughout the universes various types of intelligent creatures who have not been portrayed in these narratives. And now, as the systems one by one become settled in light by virtue of the progress of their component worlds, the time comes when the last system in a given constellation attains stabilization, and the universe administrators, the Master Sun, the Union of Days, and the bright and morning star arrive on the capital of the constellation to proclaim the Most Highs the unqualified rulers of the newly perfected family of 100 settled systems of inhabited worlds. 9. The third or constellation stage. The unification of a whole constellation of settled systems is attended by new distributions of executive authority and additional readjustments of universe administration. This epoch witnesses advanced attainment on every inhabited world, but is particularly characterized by readjustments on the constellation headquarters, with marked modification of relationships with both the system supervision and the local universe government. During this age, many constellation and universe activities are transferred to the system capitals, and the representatives of the super-universe assume new and more intimate relations with the planetary, system, and universe rulers. Concomitant with these new associations, certain super-universe administrators establish themselves on the constellation capitals as volunteer advisors to the Most High Fathers. When a constellation is thus settled in light, the legislative function ceases, and the House of System Sovereigns, presided over by the Most Highs, functions instead. Now, for the first time, such administrative groups deal directly with the super-universe government in matters pertaining to Havona and Paradise relationships. Otherwise, the constellation remains related to the local universe as before. From stage to stage in the settled life, the Univitatia continue to administer the constellation Morontia worlds. As the ages pass, the constellation fathers take over more and more of the detailed administrative or supervising functions which were formerly centered on the universe headquarters. By the attainment of the 6th stage of stabilization, these unified constellations will have reached the position of well-nigh complete autonomy. Entrance upon the 7th stage of settledness will no doubt witness the exaltation of these rulers to the true dignity signified by their names, the Most Highs. To all intents and purposes, the constellations will then deal directly with the super-universe rulers, while the local universe government will expand to grasp the responsibilities of new grand universe obligations. 10. The fourth or local universe stage. When a universe becomes settled in light and life, it soon swings into the established super-universe circuits, and the Ancients of Days proclaim the establishment of the Supreme Council of Unlimited Authority. This new governing body consists of the 100 Faithfuls of Days, presided over by the Union of Days, and the first act of this Supreme Council is to acknowledge the continued sovereignty of the Master Creator Son. The universe administration, as far as concerns Gabriel and the Father Melchizedek, is quite unchanged. This council of unlimited authority is chiefly concerned with the new problems and the new conditions arising out of the advanced status of light and life. The Associate Inspector now mobilizes all assigned sentinels to constitute the stabilization corps of the local universe, and asks the Father Melchizedek to share its supervision with him. And now, for the first time, a corps of the inspired Trinity spirits are assigned to the service of the Union of Days. The settling of an entire local universe in light and life inaugurates profound readjustments in the entire scheme of administration, from the individual inhabited worlds to the universe headquarters. New relationships extend down to the constellations and systems. The local universe Mother Spirit experiences new liaison relations with the Master Spirit of the superuniverse, and Gabriel establishes direct contact with the Ancients of Days to be effective when and as the Master Son may be absent from the headquarters world. During this and subsequent ages, the magisterial sons continue to function as dispensational adjudicators, while 100 of these avonal sons of paradise constitute the new High Council of the Bright and Morning Star on the universe capital. Later on, and as requested by the system sovereigns, one of these magisterial sons will become the supreme counselor stationed on the headquarters world of each local system until the 7th stage of unity is attained. During this epoch, the Trinity Teacher Sons are volunteer advisors not only to the planetary sovereigns, but in groups of 3 they similarly serve the constellation fathers. And at last these sons find their place in the local universe, for at this time they are removed from the jurisdiction of the local creation and are assigned to the service of the Supreme Council of unlimited authority. The Finaliter Corps now, for the first time, acknowledges the jurisdiction of an extra-paradise authority, the Supreme Council. Heretofore, the Finaliters have recognized no supervision this side of paradise. The Creator Sons of such settled universes spend much of their time on Paradise and its associated worlds, and in counseling the numerous Finaliter groups serving throughout the local creation. In this way the Man of Michael will find a fuller fraternity of association with the glorified Finaliter mortals. Speculation concerning the function of these Creator Sons in connection with the outer universes now in process of preliminary assembly is wholly futile. But we all engage in such postulations from time to time. On attaining this 4th stage of development, the Creator Son becomes administratively free. The Divine Minister is progressively blending her ministry with that of the Superuniverse Master Spirit and the Infinite Spirit. There seems to be evolving a new and sublime relationship between the Creator Son, the Creative Spirit, the Evening Stars, the Teacher Sons, and the ever-increasing Finaliter Corps. If Michael should ever leave Nebadon, Gabriel would undoubtedly become chief administrator, with the Father Melchizedek as his associate. At the same time, new status would be imparted to all orders of permanent citizenship, such as Material Sons, Univitatia, Midsoniters, Susatia, and Spirit-fused mortals. But as long as evolution continues, the Seraphim and the Archangels will be required in universe administration. We are, however, satisfied regarding 2 features of our speculations. If the Creator Sons are destined to the outer universes, the Divine Ministers will undoubtedly accompany them. We are equally sure that the Melchizedeks are to remain with the universes of their origin. We hold that the Melchizedeks are destined to play ever-increasingly responsible parts in local universe government and administration. 11. The Minor and Major Sector Stages. Minor and major sectors of the superuniverse do not figure directly in the plan of being settled in light and life. Such an evolutionary progression pertains primarily to the local universe as a unit and concerns only the components of a local universe. A superuniverse is settled in light and life when all of its component local universes are thus perfected, but not one of the 7 superuniverses has attained a level of progression even approaching this. The Minor Sector Age. As far as observations can penetrate, the 5th or minor sector stage of stabilization has exclusively to do with physical status and with the coordinate settling of the 100 associated local universes in the established circuits of the superuniverse. Apparently none but the power centers and their